Hey there, Heather Ho there, Jeff Cutter, and welcome you to the second video in the 1964-65 Stone Cold Hockey video, where we do the Toronto Maple Leafs trying to go three-peat. They were, four-peat, sorry. I incorrectly said in the first video that we're trying to three-peat, but what am I thinking? The Leafs were the 62, 63, and 64 champions. I'm trying to go 4 for 4, to say the least. So, anyway, you got yourself 6 teams: Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, Montreal, New York, and Boston. The only Stone Cold Hockey season that has the 6 teams in it, the original 6. The next one, 1968, has 12. So, see the expansion teams and all of that. Nevertheless, Detroit right now leads with 3 wins, a loss, and 2 ties for 8 points. Toronto has 3 wins, a loss, and a tie, and so does Chicago, 3-1-1. Montreal 2-2-1. Rangers 4 ties, and Boston 3 ties. So those 2 teams have yet to win a game. Nevertheless, Roger Bear leads the goal-scoring race at 6. Ron Ellis tied with him, and Claude Provo with 5. Points-wise, Bobby Hull has 8, Claude Provo has 8, and so does Phil Goyette. So those are your point leaders right now, and your penalty minutes leader unofficially is Roger Bear with 26. It's like, Roger Bear? Since when is he a goon, if you will? Nevertheless, we got ourselves a key matchup here and all that. Dennis Desjardins has the best goals against 1.68, and his teammate Glenn Hall is second with a 2.00. Roger Crozier third at 2.17. Charlie Hodge fourth, conversely fifth. Sachek sixth, and Johnny Powers ninth. But Powers only played 2 games. The standings follows. We have a good point percentage: 19 goals scored for, 15 against, so we have a +4. Teams wise, you see the 6 teams, but our team, Toronto, Terry Sachek 2-1, Bauer 1-1. Of course, Sachek started against the Rangers, and then they came back from 5-1 down with Bauer in the net. Ron Ellis with 6 points, Frank Maholich 5, Pulford, Bathgate, Armstrong, Papin, and Douglas with 4 points each. Ron Ellis has 6 goals, but no assists. Our schedule, our first 5 games, and all that. Got some very competitive things going on and all that. Yeah, in late November, we have a 3-game road trip. We have 2 separate 3-game homestands. So let's go to the schedule. We are in Chicago on October 27th, both teams 3-1. Sachek in the net against Glenn Hall, the stand-up guy who made 502 consecutive starts. That's hard to do. You have to play every game for 6 years in today's NHL. Glenn Hall with Dennis Desjardins in the net. Bobby Hall, the Golden Jet. Stan Mikita, the hatchet man, if you will, until he calmed down because of his 2-year-old daughter's advice. Kenny Warham, Phil Esposito. Yes, in 1965 he was a Blackhawk, not a Bruin. Chico Mackey, Chico time. Pierre Pilote, defense. Eric Nestorenko, a right wing, future star for the Blackhawks. Doug Moens, an Ironman, I think. I can't remember. Bill Hay, Dennis Hall, Bobby's younger brother. John Pye McKenzie. I didn't know he was a Blackhawk. I know he went to the Bruins. Fred Stanfield, future Bruin. I think he went in the trade to Boston as well with Mahovlich. Matt Ravlich, not Pavlich, Ravlich. Alan McNeil. 6 years later, he would be coaching the 1971 Habs to the Stanley Cup, despite the fact that he pissed off the French Canadian population by going after Pocket Rocket Richard. Doug Jarrett, Doug Robinson, Moose Vasco, John Redeman, Wayne Hillman, and Ken Hodge Sr. He had a son, Junior, who was a bit of a bust. The Leafs, Frank Mahovlich, the Big M, Ron Ellis, number 6 in your programs, Davey Kia, number 14 in your programs, Bob Pulford, later to be a good executive with Chicago, Red Kelly, 8 cups, none with the Habs, 4 with the Leafs, 4 with the Red Wings. That's a record for most cups by someone not affiliated with the Habs at any point. Andy Bathgate, who the Leafs picked up the previous season from the Rangers and made sure to move. Ron Stewart, There are two: George Armstrong, the Chief, Tim Horton, yes, of Tim Hortons Donuts, Jim Papan, who is a right winger, and all that. Don McKenney, who went from the Rangers to the Leafs in the same thing. Pete Stamkowski, Ken Douglas in defense. Pete Stamkowski, the Polish rifle. Eddie Shack, the entertainer Shack. Carl Brewer on defense. Alan Stanley also on defense. Dickie Moore, former Hab. Brett Selby, former Calder Trophy winner. Billy Harris, a youngster who would be better for the Islanders, and Bob Bond, the guy who the previous year had scored that big overtime goal. Anyway, here we go. First, 2 minutes into the game, the battle. Both teams deliver a hit. 5 minutes later, battle, control, defense, action. Not a chance by Warham? No. And much later, action. Leafs with the blue die. Bathgate tried to score, but he can't. Leafs a chance by Havlich? No, couldn't do it. 5 minutes later, battle, agitator. And Hall's off. Oh man, which Hall? Dennis Hall is off because there's two Halls. He's in the power play. Chetsky or pop power play goal. Eddie Bathgate. Hey Rangers, guess what you gave up? Bathgate hits third from Bond and Keon. It's 1-0. Mon. Last play of the first period. Action. And Davey Keon. He scores. Beautiful goal by Keon from Billy Harris. And it's 2-0 Leafs after 1 period. Looking good, Davey Keon. You're the man. Anyway, the Leafs need to do something here. Early on, there's a fight. It's Brewer and Esposito. Phil Esposito could fight? Well, anyway, Carl Brewer lays out with them. Blackhawks lose a big offensive threat. The Leafs lose a good defender. Now, to note that you'll be thinking, well, Phil had a brother, Tony Esposito. Yes, but he was not in the NHL yet. I think he was in college hockey. The Mosquitoes! Teddy Ward, the Warhammer from Moan. Comeback surge. 3 minutes later, both players still. It's time for Tibbs. And that's right, it's time for Tibbs' goal. Tim Horton, his first of the season from Kent Douglas. It's 3-1 Leafs. The Hawks are fuming. And now both guys will be out. Hawks a chance. Chico Maki. Not Chico time. Both teams get their guys back. Pierre Pilot. Oh, good check. Get some out. 5 minutes later. Agitated. The Leafs get agitated. Horton gets agitated and gets a 2-minute for the bear hug. Gets crunched. Power play goal. Nice rebound. Stan Nikita. Yes, no nuts. From Al McNeil. Yes, that Al McNeil who recently died. And Phil Esposito. Esposito. So Esposito with an assist, which is a rarity because he scores goals, not pass for goals. And the Leafs and Hawks, 3 goals in the second period, 2 by the Hawks. Warren and Makita Horton for the Leafs. It's now 3-2. Leafs headed to period number 3. And just a reminder, this is 1965. Overtime in the regular season is non-existent. Early on, a chance for the Hawks. It's Chico time. His second from Espo and Warren. It's 3-3. What's going on with Espo? Is he learning how to pass the puck? 2 minutes later. Ron Ellis had a chance. 2 minutes later, a battle. Let's give up a hit. And then about a fight. We're back to fighting with Nestorenko. So the Hawks actually have a better chance, if you will. No. Yep. So great job by the Hawks. Well, Nestorenko, okay, you lose him, but the Leafs lose Brewer again. Hawks another chance. Bobby Hall, no. He thought he had it. 3 minutes later. Action for the Hawks. Chico, no. I do it. Get over the hit. 5 minutes left. Last chance. Battle. Defense. Action. The Leafs score with 15 on the clock. It's Red Kelly. I can't remember the Red Green show. Red Kelly his second from Ron Stewart. And the Leafs win 4-3 in the final 15 seconds, and the Hawks are fuming. The Leafs win on the road. What a road win for the Leafs. Zajac Butal, what a job. You see the dice stuff on the left. And on the right, you see Zajac Hall. Hawk goes by Warren, Makita, and Mackey, but the Leafs goes by Bathgate, Keon, Corden, and Kelly. Can you believe it? Both teams scoring one goal on the power play. So the Leafs win 4-3 on this Tuesday night. No rest for the weary. They got to face those Habitants. Yeah, no rest for the weary. Well, Boston plays the Rangers. Later on, Boston plays the Rangers. The winner finally gets out. Will someone finally get a win? Nope, it's a dreaded 2-2 tie. Norris and Paille in the nets. Rangers were up 2-1. Ingerfield and Hatfield had put the goals in, but Busek and Tommy Williams, one of the rarities, an American in the NHL, put it through, and Boston and the Rangers tie again 2-2. Will they win a game? Leafs have to play Montreal back to back. So the smart money. Well, Charlie Hodge is starting the nets for the Habs. So it's probably the question is, do you put Zajac back in or do you take Johnny Bower? Back to back, I'm going to trust my gut and go with Zajac. Go with the hot hand. I mean, Zajac, if he had lost, I'd go with Bauer. But I go with hot hand. So Montreal has Charlie Hodge in the net. Surprised he made more starts than Gump Worsley. I thought Gump Worsley would have made more starts because he's a seasoned veteran. Anyway, Claude Provost on the Habs. Ralph Backstrom, the guy who the Habs traded to LA in 1971. They're sure Oakland finished last in that season so that the Habs could have the number one draft pick and get new flair. Henri Paquet Richard, Claude LaRose, the clothes. Children Jean Melville, Davy Ballon, the policeman John Ferguson, Bobby Rousseau, no Dick Duff yet, I guess. Gilles Tremblay, the left winger. Jean-Guy Talbot, good defenseman. Yvon Beebe, the Roadrunner Cournoyer. Jacques Laperriere, J.C. Tremblay, who would later go on to be much famous for being part of the WHA's Quebec Nordiques as a legend. Jimmy Roberts, not the guy from NBC Tennis. The defenseman. Leon Rochefort, Ted Harris, Red Berenson, before 3 years before he would be striking it big for the Blues. Terry Harper at defense. Noah Picard at defense. Yes, that Noah Picard, who 5 years later would be historic for the Blues, tripping up Bobby Orr during his goal. Keith McCreary, Gary Peters, Brian Watson, Bill Hick, and Andre Boudreau, who was he known for wearing a headband on the ice when he was with Oakland? I think so. Anyway, first game, have to have 4 minutes. Action chance, Claude LaRose? No. 4 minutes later, a chance for Red Dice, that's something for Tim Horton? 9. 5 minutes later, action for the Habs. And a chance. No, saved by Andre Richard. I thought he had it. Andre Richard had a penalty shot, and he failed it. He flipped it. Captain skier! Gentleman Jean Beliveau, his second of the year from Rousseau and LaRose. And the Habs take the 1-0 lead. I would be speaking French, but we're not in Montreal. Final minute. Bruce will pick up a penalty. It's the Big M for 2 minutes. So the Habs have a chance. Power play. Provo. No. And they kill the clock. 3 minutes later. Action for the Habs. Bathgate. Well, on Bathgate, but no chance. Battle. Aggression. Good hit by John Ferguson. He goes off for 2. Roddy Stewart band. His first of the year from Papin and Keon. It's 1-1. Nice job on the slot. 5 minutes later. Battle. Aggression. Here's 2. That's a Bob Bod goes to the box for 2. Ouch. He gets punched. Look at the distance left. Mahovlich. Skills. The Big M, Frank Mahovlich. He scores from Davy Keon. And it's 2-1 Leafs. Finally, Mahovlich is making a goal-scoring effort. And that was it. After 2 periods, the Leafs scored twice in the second period, are now up 2-1. Can they do it? Maybe. 5 minutes later. Battle, Backstrom, no chance. But Backstrom thought he had it. Eagle Sam, 2 minutes later, battle. Aggression? Oh, man. And Worsley has to come in for Hodge. Ow, what the hell happened? Major penalty and injury. Frank Mahovlich is off for 5 minutes. That's going to kill the Leafs' momentum. The Habs have a great time. Jet score! Power play goal. Jean-Du Talbot. His second from Cournoyer and Harris. And it's 2-2. Yeah, the Leafs, well, the 5 minutes for Mahovlich, they can score any medal goals. Power play kills time. Segment killed. The Habs do score 1 goal. 3 minutes later. Defense. Action chance for Rod Stewart. Aye. We're getting close to the end. Enforcer. There's a fight. Watson and Douglas are going toe to toe, and they'll get 5 minutes each. This might be it. Holy Saint Laurent, we have 19 seconds left. Gentlemen, Jean Beliveau does it to the Leafs. The Leafs were looking for their 6-game unbeaten streak, but they fucked it up. Dave Bowlin passes to Beliveau with 19 seconds left. And the Habs sink the Leafs, and Zacha can't believe his luck. Worsley comes in the net after an injury to Hodge, and he wins the game for the Habs, and the Leafs are stunned. Holy shit. Didn't see that coming. Thursday the 29th, Boston heads to Detroit after that tie with the Rangers, and they get their asses whipped 4-0 as Crozier gets a shut over Jack Norris. Howe, yeah, good old Gordie Howe. Doug Barkley, Norm Ullman, and Rob Murphy scoring for the Wings. So the Bruins can't believe it. They just can't win a game. Anyway, we're on to Saturday night. The Hawks come to Toronto. I do have a rule that I don't play the same team twice in a video. Unless it's the playoffs. Boston, Montreal. And Boston loses to Montreal. In Montreal, Hodge beats Johnston. Hodge is okay. He's fine. Boston goes by Orland Kurtenbach. Remember him, the first captain of the Canucks? And Ronnie Schock, who would score a big overtime goal for the 1968 St. Louis Cardinals. Blues. You knew I would screw up. Montreal goes by the pocket rocket Andre Richard, Jean Beliveau, Ralph Backstrom, and Johnny Ferguson has scored a goal. John Ferguson can score? Anyway, Chicago and Toronto, we autoplay, of course, and the Leafs win 5-3 as Bauer was in the net, beating Glenn Hall. Blackhawks go by Mikita his third, Bobby Hall his fifth, and then his sixth. So Bobby Hall basically just rocking it. Leaf goals, Ellis, Armstrong, Ellis. Ellis had a hat trick by the second period, and Davey Keon scored the insurance marker on the power play. 4 power play goals. So Ron Ellis had a hat trick to get to 9 goals. Where is this guy coming from? Well, the penalties. Warham went off for tripping. Mikita for slashing, Piot for hooking. So the first 3 penalties ended up being power play goals, and then Mikita for interference. Yeah, the Hawks went on the PK 4 times and got bit all 4 times. As usual, Sunday, so everyone plays. Toronto will be in Detroit. Toronto will send the former Red Wing icon Terry Sawchuk in net against Roger Crozier. They're going to let him come through. The Leafs 5-2-1. The Wings 4-1-2. Terry Sawchuk faces his former squad, as I said. Chris. Anyway, the Red Wings get Normie Ullman. He's a legend. Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey. You can't deny that guy. Alex Delvecchio, great center, part of the production line. Bruce McGregor and right wing. Ron Murphy, who's been scoring goals at a premium. Floyd Smith, future Leafs head coach. Ted Lindsay, terrible Ted Lindsay, back in Detroit after a bad stint with the Blackhawks. Parker McDonald to left wing. Parker McDonald is a left winger. E-I-E-I-O. I had to say it. Eddie Joyal there. Paul Henderson, yes, that Paul Henderson. Henderson has scored for Canada at 1972 Summit Series. Put this guy in the Hall of Fame already. Pitt Martin, who would later become a Hawk and Bruin. Doug Barkley, not related to Charles Barkley. Gary Bergman, Larry Jeffrey, and no, that's not how you spell my legal first name. It's E-R-Y. Val Fontaine, known for it. And last video, I went over the fact that He had 13 minors, the equivalent of 13 minors in 13 seasons in the NHL, which is like gentlemanly. He went through 3 straight years without a penalty. Will McDonald, who would be part of the first Atlanta Flames team, if I remember right. Marcel Pernofo, former Leaf. Al Langlois, the guy who tried to dump it out of the zone before Bobby Bond caught it and in one motion swatted it past Sawchuk in the net in the 6-4 finals. Pete Gogan, Bill Gadsby, let it be a Rangers player, I think that's John McMillan, Andre Pronafil, Warren Godfrey, and Bob Dillenbow. So here come the Leafs. 5 minutes into the game. Leafs score! Ron Murphy scores at the Red Barn, the Olympia, and McGregor and Howe. 1-0 Red Wings. 6 minutes later. A chance. Oh, Pulford had a chance and he missed it. 4 minutes later. Red Wings, Bruce McGregor? No. 4 minutes later, a battle? It's Doug Barkley for 2 minutes. I think he was the coach of the Red Wings, what, 1971? Power play goal just before the horn says, "The Chief!" George Armstrong, his second from Stanley and Bathgate, and the Leafs have tied the score at 1 after 1. Murphy scores for Detroit. Toronto gets Armstrong. 5 minutes later. Action chance for the Red Wings. Del Vecchio! No. 2 minutes later. Parker McDonald scores a goal. E-I-E-I-O. He got the goal from Ullman. E-I-E-I-O. He scrambled the pocket. He scored the goal. Leafs are down 2-1. Parker McDonald's got a chance. E-I-E-I-O. Norm Ullman with great assists. I didn't think he had it with him. 2 minutes later. Leafs, Brett Selby. Aye. 3 minutes. A chance. Ooh. No, sir. Oh, fuck. I forgot who got that chance. Battle. Ouchie McGregor. 4 minutes later. Battle. Aggression. And Bill Gadsby will land in the box for 2 minutes. Leafs try to take advantage. They did it again. Power play goal. 52 seconds left. Bobby Pulford, his 5th. He pulled it into the top corner with the one-timer from Keon and the Big M. It's 2-2. So the Leafs, again, were down by 1, but scored late on a power play. 4 minutes later. Battle. Aggression. And guess what? Doug Barkley gets his second minor of the day. Power play chance for Eddie Shack? No, they stopped him. 6 minutes later. Leafs Jim Pappan? No, sir. Battle. Aggression? Kent Douglas for 2 minutes. Anderson is first to Canada. Detroit. He scores his second from Ullman and Ron Murphy. So Murphy's getting his second assist. Wow. Ullman's got 2 assists, and the Red Wings are looking good. Remember, they gave the Leafs a opening day loss. Action. Leafs Tim Horton. Aye. We're getting close to the end. Action. Mahovlich. No. Empty net opportunity. Ron Stewart trying to scramble. Del Vecchio rolls it into the net. His 4th is 4-2 from Murphy and Pitt Martin. Pitt Martin with an assist. So the Leafs are going to lose in Detroit. Yikes. They just had nothing. And the Leafs fall behind again, but they couldn't get another 1-goal comeback. And the Wings win 4-2, and the Leafs can't bear to watch. Back to 2 out of 3 losses. And Sawchuk again fumbles it. I don't know why. But anyway, Sawchuk loses to Crozier. Detroit scored a goal, then Toronto, then Detroit. Toronto goals by Armstrong, Pulford, Murphy, Parker, McDonald, Henderson, and Del Vecchio are your heroes for the Red Wings, who are 5-1-2. Chicago-Boston. Boston trying to get their first win, and it did. They beat the Hawks 3-2. As Eddie Johnston beats Glenn Hall. Chicago came into Toronto and lost. Boston did it. Dean Prentice with a pair of goals, the apprentice, and Kurtenbach his 3rd. Nestorenko and Mullen scored, but they stopped the Brets, and finally Boston has won. Now, can the Rangers finally win a game? The answer is no, they can't. 3-0 Habitants. Shut out by Gump Worsley in New York against his former team, the team that gave him the most trouble, even though he was playing for them. Marcel Paillet loses the game. Andre Richard, Claude Provost, and Jean Belleville scored the goals. The Rangers are 9 games winless. Then they head to Chicago and got their asses whipped 7-0 as Jacques Plante gets lit up. Jacques Plante usually doesn't get lit up for 7 goals. The Rangers just can't get anything going. That's back-to-back games with a shutout. Glenn Hall, the hero. And 7 different goal scorers for the Hawks. Chico Mackey, it's Chico time. Kenny Warham, Warhammer, Phil the Frill Esposito, Bill Hay, what are you doing? Dennis Hall, Bobby's brother, Doug Moans and Groans, and Stan Mikita. So man, the Rangers are really in deep trouble. No game Wednesday. Thursday, the Leafs play in Montreal. Rangers. That's end on a positive note. Rangers Detroit. See if Rangers can finally win a game. No, they don't. Crozier beats Plante, but the good news is the Rangers scored a goal. Well, Detroit scored 2 goals early. Gordie Howe and Ron Murphy. Camille the Eel Henry scored at 2:57. So that was what? 142 minutes without a goal? 2 straight games and then 22 minutes because they missed the first. Daniel Suarez. Rangers also scored Sean Rattel, Earl Engelfeld, and the Eel getting his 5th. But the Red Wings, after the 2-0 lead, Alex Delvecchio, Normie Ullman, Floyd Smith, Ron Murphy, and Ron Murphy again for a hat trick. He's got 7. So, summary, the Leafs are 3rd in the NHL. Detroit's in the lead. Detroit, Montreal, Toronto, Chicago. Boston only has 1 win. Rangers have 5 ties. They have as many ties as Detroit, Montreal, Toronto, and Chicago have combined. 11-game winless streak. Ron Ellis leading the NHL with 9 goals. Ron Murphy second with 7. Bobby Hall, Claude Provost, and Roger Gilbert with 6 each. Points-wise, it's Normie Ullman with 14, Stan Mikita with 12, Bobby Hall with 11, and penalty minutes it is Roger Gilbert with 32, Ted Green with 31. So, got all that. Ken Douglas has 29, so it's just Carl Brewer. Okay. Goals against, the Jordy number 1.68. They have to put him more in the net. Gump Worsley's now got a 1.92 year goals against, and Crozier 2.12. Shelachek 2.89. Bauer is second last, 3.33. It's sour to know that both Jack Norris and Marcel Paillet, who have not won a game, unlike Bauer, have a better goals against, especially Paillet. I'm surprised. 3.27. Yeah, Jacques Plante's 0-4-3. He's just lost his touch. Yeah, you can't trade players in this game. So, anyway, that's all I got for this video. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.